Hello and welcome to my August 6th rant. Not so much a rant today as a plea. Can we stop with this, if my swing gets better, my score will get better sort of deal? Can we get to the point where we recognize that just because your swing gets better doesn't mean your score will get better? I mean, we're never going to get this problem solved until we put our finger on exactly what the problem is. No one seems to want to take it that because I start hitting it straighter, maybe, that my score will start getting better. Let's start with the putting idea. Here's what I'm doing nowadays. When people come to me, I'm very fortunate in that I do 2-hour minimum lessons now, no more half-hour lessons, because I don't know how far you can get in a half-hour lesson. Well, I want to eliminate certain things now. I think golf is more of a game of subtraction than it is addition. But we'll just talk for putting just for a second. You know, what I get my students to do is, like, from 6 feet, get yourself a 2x4, put your putter up against it, and putt. I can't see how, if you do that 50 or 60 times a day within a month, how can you not have a really good putting stroke? Somebody tell me how going to Dave Stockton can make your stroke better than a 2x4 or a putting arc, whatever you believe in. But how? At what point in time do we get to say, you know what, I'm just scared. I'm scared to make the ball go in. I find it really hard to believe that I'm talking right now to any serious golfer that doesn't understand exactly what I just said. There's something about us that we never want to admit that it's our brain. We always want to admit it's a technique. Now, I use putting because it's kind of glaring. Seriously, with a 2x4 60 times a day or a putting arc 60 times a day for a month, I don't think all of a sudden you're going to start making zigzag strokes. You make an awful good stroke. Certainly alignments have something to do with it, but again, that's not very hard. With a little bit of smart practice, getting your alignments right isn't that hard. But there seems to be something about making a golf ball go in a hole that scares the heck out of a lot of us. If you had a history of making putts, I think it would be different. If you have a history of missing putts, boy, I would like to see statistics from Dave Pell's schools or from Dave Stockton about how people have had a history of not being very good putters, and all of a sudden their history changed immediately. I would have a hard time believing that. So anyways, that's just that sort of thing. Okay, now ball striking. A couple things for you just to kind of think about. Now, this being a YouTube clip, and we can make many of them, we don't have to do this really fast. We don't have to do it in one clip. Let me throw this at you. I think that every time you practice, let's say with a 7-iron, you should measure yourself from the golf ball. And let's say it's 37 inches. I think every day you practice it should be 37 inches. If you have a great golf swing, but one day you're 38 inches from the ball, and the next day you're 39, and the next day you're 37, you don't think that has a big bearing on where that golf ball goes? Now, I'm being serious now. I know that what I'm talking about is for the very serious golfer, but about 100% of the people that ever call me are very serious golfers. They want to get better. If you want to get better, it's got to be about detail, does it not? I mean, if you're a 10 handicap or below, then that already means you got a pretty good golf swing. You're looking for detail. You're looking to make it more precise. You're looking to make it more consistent. Okay, so the precision comes from how smart do you practice. If you're not the same distance from the golf ball every day, you're going to get different results every day. So that would be certainly one thing. Now, to get to the point where your handicap starts coming down, here's what you need to do. You need to, as much as possible, totally understand what you did right when you did it. Mo Norman taught me 30 years ago. Anyways, this thing called comfort zone. And this will strike a nerve with a lot of you when I say it. You get some pretty good golfers that, let's say, are 80 shooters, and they'll shoot 38 in the front 9 and 42 on the back 9. Or they'll shoot 36, 45. Or they'll shoot 45, 37. but they never seem to be able to get two nines together. It's because they get scared out there. I know. Nobody wants to admit it. It's true. Way too often in golf now are we taught about this thing called muscle memory. If you just hit enough golf balls, you'll remember. Absolutely ridiculous. It makes no sense whatsoever. How the heck does your brain or your muscles in your body remember all the good ones or forget the bad ones? How does it do that? Really the key to getting your golf score down is to know you know what you're doing. Fastest way to do that is this. You have to educate your hands to do the correct thing. Then you have to teach your arms to swing on the correct line. And then you have to teach or allow your body to follow your swing. Your swing is your club, your hands, and your arms. You have to let the body. If you believe the body runs the show, I suggest you're incorrect. I don't question that there are tour players that say they do it with their body. Well, I'm going to question them. I think your hands run the show. I think your hands swing, your arms follow, and the body follows the arms. Just my opinion. But for you to get your score down, you got to know you know what you're doing. How many people take golf lessons and expect them to kick in like right away? I mean, isn't that kind of Tiger Woods at 8 to 12 hours a day is taking 2 years now? Phil Mickelson's taking lessons all the time. He's not seeming to be getting any better. Not that I think it should take 2 years to get a golf swing to get better. I don't think it should take anywhere near that long. But I don't think it should take 10 minutes. I don't think it should take an hour. I think it takes a really smart practice, not a lot of practice. I truly don't know how. Well, the facts will state that golfers are not getting any better. Despite the tens of thousands of free lessons you're getting online, we don't see the average golfer getting a whole lot better. As a matter of fact, boy, can you imagine how bad we'd be without the invention of a camera? I mean, holy cow, we'd be horrible, wouldn't we? I mean, the average handicap hasn't come down one in, what, 50 years? Man, without the camera, we'd be just awful. Okay, so here's the deal. I would like there to kind of be an awakening in golf where let's get the hands working correctly, let's get the arms working correctly, let's get the body working correctly. Let's get the putting stroke where it's okay. And then if you still can't get your handicap down, let's start to maybe think that it's a thing called comfort zone, because you know, if you take that on as the problem, I think you can beat it. But because your score doesn't come down, if you think you just haven't practiced enough, I don't know how that's going to work. So anyways, that's a start for my rant or plea for August 6th. Let's see what kind of response I get from that. Hopefully I'll get an awful lot of people saying, tell me more, and then I will. But we'll do it on YouTube clips, or we'll do it on my website at www.lagandload.com. Thanks.